I just want to make sure.
The internet wasn't. I took it off so it's on 5G. Because it was on the bench. It wasn't even.
Is it okay now? It's it's working. Okay, we're getting ready to get going here. 17 minutes on the clock. We had a little connection issue, but I think we've got that sorted out. Looks like Z is going to get the start and goal this afternoon, which means Seeds will go tomorrow. So 17 minutes on the clock. Looks like we're going to start with Trevin, Sonny, Connor Miller, Thomas Adam, Hayes Hundley. Looks like we're rolling 4 defensemen at the moment, as Ray Perreault is off elsewhere. Puck down into the end. Thomas tries to run it around, gets his stick lifted, but stays with it, cuts inside, and moves up to Sonny. Sonny cross ice, hits Trevin in stride. He lays it off for Connor, but then gets himself offsides. And we get a whistle. So we'll get a face-off outside the zone here. Same group. This one won over to Thomas, quickly to Hayes. Hayes backhands it into the corner. Rimmed hard around. Sonny can't reach it. Hayes holds it at the blue line, gets it down into the corner. Connor Miller pressures, tries to play behind. Pens come up the near side. Cross-ice pass. Sonny steps forward, gets a piece of it. Thomas does a nice job to knock it down, and we've got a 3-on-1 going the other way. And Sonny comes in, has Connor going to the front. Sonny shot blocked. Trevin was kind of waiting for a rebound, but it didn't come out to him. Puck now in the corner. Sonny digging it out, tries to play it back. It's intercepted, and here come the Pens the other way. Laid off, man cuts to the middle. Nice poke there. Puck is loose, bouncing around. Jack trying to find it. Gets it to Sonny, who has it taken away from him. Goes behind. Hayes holds his man off. Puck comes out in front. It's loose. Ooh, trickles just wide. Hayes will pick it up. And thrown into the far corner. Jackal puts you up to the point. Connor going to pressure. Played cross ice, misses the target. That shot blocked by Hayes in his feet. Doesn't know where it is. Played around behind. Played out to the corner. Now Johnny on it. Johnny battling. Meant to pin his man. Jack comes in to help. He gets ridden off, and it's held in at the point. Played cross ice. Connor steps forward. Now to the high slot. That shot blocked by Hayes up into the netting. And we'll get a face-off in zone. Finally get that line change completed. So we got Johnny Neidl, Kyle Mead, and Jackson Dixon out with Jack and Lighty. Puck played back to the point. Thrown at the net. Z kind of sticks that one up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off. Jack comes over to pick up another stick as his is broken. And we'll get a face-off to Z's right again. Johnny on this draw. This one into the corner. Lighty picks it up and rims it around. Jackson comes up, shields the puck, and battling for it. Johnny comes away, gives it to Lightwood, but he can't hold it. And it's sort of a soft backhand shot that Z does a nice job with. Held in at the far point. Man moves to the middle, and that one blocked out a play by Johnny. And we'll change up the lines. So we got Luke now coming out with Corey. And Colin, same defensive pairing of Max and Jack. Thomas is out. Thomas Adam, he does a nice job getting the puck into the zone, but it's dispossessed, and now we come back the other way. Outlet pass intercepted by Colin. Colin into the zone, 3-on-2. His shot blockered. Colin comes to his own rebound in the near corner, plays it behind to Luke. Luke battles with a man, can't maintain possession of the puck, and Pittsburgh comes out the other way. Colin closes that down at the blue line, holds it in momentarily. Corey does a nice job of holding it at the blue line. Colin's still battling for it. Here comes Luke. Luke tries to throw it in front. Comes to Colin. Colin throws a sharp angle shot, blocked, and now Pittsburgh comes the other way. Thomas faces the puck. It's chipped in. Owen plays it into the corner. Corey backs into that one. Hayes fires through his man and comes to Thomas. Thomas moves it on around to Colin. Colin with a little bit of time. Tries to move it to Luke, but it's deflected and thrown right back into the corner. Thomas goes behind the net, pulls it into the corner, but immediately grabbed by Pittsburgh. They reverse the other way. Hayes goes back, rims it on around, but held in at the point to the near side. Back to the top of the point. Corey goes down to block that. Popping around, Hayes clears it out to center ice. And we're going to go for a line change. This could be a dicey change here. Thrown out to the middle, and Max coming in, clears it away. Max moves it into the corner, and Hayes will pick it up. Hayes, long ass pass, deflected, but Sonny jumps on it, throws it, can't get it into the zone. Max has it across to Hayes. Hayes finds a little bit of space into the zone. His shot deflected high on the glass. Sonny battles down low, and puck is loose on the half boards and goes down deeper. Sonny comes away with it. Had Trevin go into the front of the net. His pass deflected in on the goalie who covers. So now we got Sonny out with Connor and Trevin, and Max and Jack across the back. Goes off to the end goalie's right. Trevin on the draw. This Max and comes back to Max. Max throws it at the net. Had to miss body, so it goes wide. Now battle in the corner. Sonny reverses it to Connor. Connor tries to pull in reverse, but can't maintain possession. Pittsburgh comes up the far side, touched and intercepted by Sonny, but can't hold it in. And now we play it out to Max. Max flips it forward, knocked down at the red line. No clear possession. Then Trevin comes away with it, but loses the handle. Bouncing still. And Pittsburgh now gains the zone. Max bumps his man off. Jack rims it hard around. Connor, battling for it, stays with it. He tries to move it further behind the net. Max with his man, reverse the other way. Connor now pressuring at the far point, thrown down low. Trevin gets picked. Jack steps forward. Z with a nice save there. Holds a no rebound. They change up the lines. Johnny coming out with Kyle and Jackson and Thomas and Hayes. Face off to Z's right. This one into the defensive corner. Thomas has a stick lifted, can't quite win it. Man tries to stuff short side, and then a shot out in front that's deflected over the top. Rolls on the half boards. Johnny gets picked off. Hayes sees that one and grabs it, and then quickly moves it on up to Johnny. Johnny tries to make a move at the blue line, left the puck behind him. So he was in offsides and then takes a hit kind of up high. But whistle for an offsides. 11:54 shown on the clock. First period, no score. Same set of 5 out there. This draw tied up in feet. Johnny gets it into the zone, but he gets upended. And now it's flipped up high into the zone. Should be an icing. And it is. So we get a face-off hand in the Pittsburgh goalie's right. Johnny moves in for this draw to the half boards and rims around to the far corner. Kyle pursuing, bumps his man, but Pittsburgh keeps possession. They play with the puck behind. Played to the far half boards. Kyle steps forward. Jackson intercepts that, comes to Thomas. He throws it in, but that was offsides as Kyle was still in the zone. So we'll change up the lines. Max and Jack come out. Luke, Corey, and Colin. Puck played in. Luke a good chase. Luke gets a stick on that. Pittsburgh regains control and carries behind the net. And reverses. Luke comes over to the near side, forces a chip up. Max waiting for it, throws it back the other way, but it gets knocked back in. So Max will go behind the net. Half works to Corey. Corey tries to chip it forward, comes back to him, so he'll try it again. It's intercepted and still bouncing around on the half boards. Jack comes away with it, moves it behind out of Max's reach. So into the near corner, he tries to get it up the boards to Colin and does, but it's held in and then chipped into the netting. And we'll get a face-off outside the zone now. And quickly we'll change the lines back up. Sonny coming out, Connor and Trevin, and Thomas and Hayes. Puck won by Pittsburgh, rimmed in. Hayes gets a piece of it to slow it down. He'll pick it up and comes out the far side. Flips it on. Connor, give and go with Hayes. And Hayes was offsides. So we get a whistle and a face-off. Trev moves in. Pittsburgh wins this one into their own zone. Far corner and behind the net. Connor giving chase, forces a reverse, and Trevin should be the first one to it. Oh, tried to throw to the front of the net, didn't get all of it. Puck came back to him. He's still battling with Connor on the half-woods. Trevin tries to pull it back to the corner. Now tries to go back to the point. It's taken away. And here we come the other way. Pittsburgh comes into the zone. Hayes stands his man up at the line. Thomas knocks the puck away, but it's played back to the point. Z makes a save and does a nice job of a rebound. And then I think Hayes is going to get called for a trip, even though he was laying on the ice. Interesting call. So with 9:56 shown on the clock in the first period, no score. Pittsburgh will get the first power play opportunity. Johnny, Jackson, Max, and Jack. Max trying to tie it up. Limps it around to Jack. Jack with some time. Softly off the boards to Jackson. Jackson off the boards to Johnny. Johnny cuts to the middle. Can't hold on to the puck. Pursues it behind the net. And it's reversed back to the near side. Long cross-sized pass. A lot of space. Max coming over. Man tries to cut to the middle. Jack anticipates that and throws it right back out. And then Jackson will give pressure here. 1:20 left on the penalty. Pittsburgh goes to the far side. Luke coming over. And that one falls to Thomas's stick. He can't keep it out of the zone. It gets rimmed to Hound. Max picks it up. Goes into the bench area with it. So we'll get a face-off in the zone. We got Jack and Thomas out with Connor and Luke taking the draw to Z's right. 1:07 remaining on the penalty. Chopped out nicely by Jack, and Pittsburgh will reorganize in their own zone. Cross-ice pass, little off target, but lots of space. Man into the zone, moving fast, steps inside Jack, hits the post, and puck comes back out. Far point, Jack steps forward, back to the high slot. Oh, Connor almost gets a piece of it, but it falls to Luke, who tries to bounce it off the glass, but gets it a little high. 42 seconds remaining. Johnny and Jackson coming back out. Still Thomas and Jack face off to Z's right. This draw to the half board. Pittsburgh will gain control, but good pressure by Jackson. And Johnny comes over far side. Misfires on the pass, allows Jack to get it on up just a little bit behind Jackson, who was looking to break. And Pittsburgh will try to move up the ice. Jackson harassing, and here comes Johnny. Man comes over, dumped in, and it hits Johnny. It was going out of the zone, but now it's deep in the corner. Johnny battles his man. Jack there to help. Puck goes behind the net, tries to cut out in front. Jackson was waiting for it at the point. Played down low. 2 seconds remaining on the kill. Man comes to the middle. That shot rims hard over the glass and thrown down low. Thomas can't win it, but stays with the man. Pittsburgh trying to cycle. Tries to cut in short side. Now thrown through the slot. Jackson can't get to it. Squirt has been out there for a long time, so needs a whistle. Thomas ties his man up. Johnny comes in to help. And now it squirts out to Z, who's going to hold it. And we'll get a change. 7:21 showing on the clock, still no score. Now we've got Luke out with Colin and Corey. And Max and Hayes. Face off to Z's left. Luke moving in for this one. Who finally kicks it to the corner. And Max skates onto it. Max on up to Corey. Corey tries to pin it into the boards, falls to Hayes. He moves it on over to Colin. Colin gets a little bit away from him with a heavy touch, and now it gets thrown the other way for an icing. So we got that same group out there. Luke will move in for the draw. To the goalie's right. This one played back to Max. Max under pressure, throws it at the net, deflects off a loop just wide. Hayes jumps down deep, holds it on the half boards, and puck is bouncing around. Corey trying to win it, gets knocked over for his troubles. Puck up the near pool, and Max has it. Max pulls to the middle, big shot, deflects just wide off Luke. Puck is on the near corner. Luke behind the net with it, looking for somewhere to go, gets it poked off his stick. Collins still battling for it as the puck comes up the near boards and off the glass, and a foot race. Hayes pokes that one nicely to the corner. Pittsburgh maintains possession. Man starting to come back out to the front, and then a quick shot, no look. Z grabs it and holds it. .623 showing. So now Sonny out. Trevin. And Connor. Puck thrown towards the net. Jack was down on his knees, blocked that, still floating around in the faceoff circle. Pittsburgh moves into the far corner. And then thrown out by Thomas, and this would be an icing as he was looking for an outlet pass that just wasn't there. Face will come back down to Owens right. Same set of 5 out there. This draw one defensive corner. Thomas has it. Gets pinched by 2 players. Didn't have anywhere to go with it. Pittsburgh tries to float it out in front. Falls to Sonny. Sonny quickly on to Connor. Sonny gets dumped behind the play. Ref was watching it. No call. Puck thrown in. Connor should be the first one to it. Rims it back around behind. Trevin catches up to it. Can't corral it. And Pittsburgh comes the other way. Floats to the blue line to Jack. Jack tries to move it on up to Hayes, who's knocked down away from the puck. Big shot. And then on the rebound, puck put in. And there's the goal. 5:34. First period. Got Johnny Jackson Kyle out with Max and Hayes. Up one over to the half boards. Hayes comes over, steps forward with it, and gets it into the zone, but it's knocked right back out. Johnny grabs and immediately drives the zone again, runs it behind the net. Goalie reverses it. Johnny was waiting on it, but couldn't get there, and now Pittsburgh comes the other way. Hayes faces his man, cuts to the middle. Max comes over and intercepts the pass. Max plays it up, but it's held in, thrown at the net. Z with a big glove save and covers the rebound. .507 now showing on the clock. This one back to the point. Jack battling in the corner with his man. Comes over to the half boards. Man cutting back door. Corey comes over, forces that pass behind. Luke bodies his man up and allows Thomas to skate onto it. Thomas moves up the ice, heads on to Corey. Corey flips in on the goalie who can't quite corral it. Colin can't quite catch up with it. And then it's flipped up past a lunging Luke who was looking to hold it in. Man, trying to gain the corner, throws it in late. And Z gets his stick knocked away from him. He's lost his stick. It's right underneath him, but he doesn't feel he has time to get it. So it's played out to the point. Man steps forward. That shot blocked by Luke, who can't find it in his feet. It's rimmed around, and then it floats out to Jack. Jack gets closed down, but stays with the puck and brings it out of the zone. He chips it forward, but Pittsburgh comes right back in. Man steps around Thomas, but he stays with him. Cross-ice pass. Slid back door. Thomas intercepts. Throws it back to the point. Deflected wide. And then Thomas comes around behind. Ooh, he clears it, but it comes right to a black jersey. Right up to the top, and then hits a man in front. Jack will force that pass up. Shawnee bumps his man, but Pittsburgh stays with it. Held it at the point. That one blocked by Luke. And puck comes out to the blue line, and we'll try and get a change here. Pressure by Connor. Puck is knocked back behind the net, and Pittsburgh will wind up. Trevin, battling his man, comes up to Hayes. He shoots it just wide of the net. Lighty steps forward. He'll throw it at the net. That's blocked almost right into Sonny. Kyle has it. Throws it, trying to bounce it off the goalie. Flips all the way up. Hits Max's skates. Hayes comes over. Oh, it takes an unlucky bounce, but Hayes rides his man off. And then we've got a penalty on somebody. Not sure who. They're calling Hayes for a hook. Didn't see that one. Coaches don't appear to be terribly happy with that call, but it is what it is. So 3 minutes and 2 seconds showing on the clock. Puck one back to the near point. That's blocked by Jackson. If he's got speed, he'll have a breakaway. He's going to beat his man. Oh, and the goalie just gets a blocker on it. That one was not far off. Puck behind the net. Pittsburgh will look to wind up as Johnny loiters. Played to the right side. Cross-ice pass. Jack faces his man. Long cross-ice. Johnny steps forward. Played to the right point. Cross-ice. Jackson flips up to himself. And he thought Johnny was coming with him. Johnny was going for a change. Now he's got to break the other way. That shot misses just wide of the net. Max comes over, bumps his man, but stays with the puck. Played up, but played back by Pittsburgh all the way down under their own goal. So we'll complete a line change here with 1:10 showing on the penalty. Puck behind the net. Luke moves forward. Man past him with speed into the zone. Cuts to the middle. Z kicks that one out to the far half boards. Hops over a stick. Thomas first one to it. Had more time than he thought. moves it up, but it's held in, goes behind, and now Jack will move it around. It looked like the Pittsburgh players could have made a play on it, but they're going to call an icing and bring it back down with 42 seconds remaining. Luke moves into the draw, wins it to the defensive corner. Max ties up his man. Luke gets it to Thomas. Thomas flips it, but cannot get it out. Cross-ice pass down to the low. Nice stick there by Thomas to block it, but it's held in at the point. Now halfwards, Thomas battles his man trying to win it. Connor comes over and steals the puck. He moves up with Luke, rolls behind him, throws it in on the net, and the forwards go for a change with 15 on the penalty. Here comes Sonny and Corey out. Cross-ice pass, man into the blue line, going wide. That shot, Z holds his post, and he'll hold for a whistle with 2 seconds remaining. Corey, Sonny, Thomas, Max out. Face off to Z's right. 1:03 showing on the clock. Puck one back to the point and out of the zone. Puck deflected in. Johnny will go back for it with 50 seconds. Tries to lay it off, but puck is bouncing on him. Max runs to move it on up to Corey, who throws it back behind the net. Max tries to move it to Thomas, but doesn't get quite enough on it. Puck goes behind. Johnny bodies his man, and then comes to the puck. Flips it on up to Sonny. Sonny facing 3 black jerseys. Floats it in. 30 seconds remaining. Pittsburgh organizing. Pressure by Kyle. And held in at the blue line. Puck behind the net with 10 seconds. Jackson there, can't win it. Trevin reaches for it, comes away with it, tries to throw it in front. Back to Jack. Jack throws it in the net. Oh, Hayes was cutting in front, looking for a deflection. Just missed. And there's the horn. And we'll see whether we're going to get a nice cut or just a 1-minute break. Teams do not appear to be leaving the bench, so I guess we'll just get a 1-minute break. Okay, so we'll go roll right into the second period, and then we'll see at what point we get an ice cut, whether it's halfway through or whether it's at the end of the period. Trevin, Connor, Sonny with Max and Hayes to start. Now we're moving left to right. Puck one into the defensive zone for Pittsburgh. They play the blue line. Trev steps up, forces a turnover. Hayes moves it back to Trev. They can't quite win it, but then Hayes jumps forward with it. Moves into the zone. Lays it off for Sonny. Sonny, Hayes puts a deflection on net. Goalie makes a great save. Nice pass by Sonny. A good offensive chance there in the first 30 seconds. Same set of 5 out there. Trevin will move in for the faceoff. Has Connor on his right, Sonny on his left. To the goalie's right. Trevin trying to win it back to the half boards. Connor closes his man down, but the puck gets moved around. Trev cuts that off. Connor steps down and blocks that. Bouncing puck. Max gets a piece of it, can't quite control it. Falls to Sonny, who gains the red line and then dumps in. Connor, first one to it here in the low corner. Tries to shield the puck, does so nicely. Tries to play it around, not quite hard enough for Trevin. Held in, pays pressures, and puck comes out to Sonny. Sonny lays it off for Trevin. Trevin curls back to the inside. Cross-ice pass intercepted. Oh, and now we got a breakaway the other way. That shot, Z gets a piece of it, and puck goes to the far half boards. Puck is bouncing now, played back to the far point. Man pulls the middle off to the right side. Z sees that one the whole way, sticks it into the far corner. Trevin skates onto it and falls to Sonny. Sonny, Trevin maybe out of gas. Nope, he comes to it. Sonny tried to go to Connor. Connor intercepts it behind the net. And now Pittsburgh comes the other way. Thomas facing the puck. He gains control, throws it back up the boards to Jackson. Jackson at the red line. Has Johnny in the middle. Jackson comes wide. He's going to try and beat his man to the inside. Stuffs it short side. Goalie finally finds the rebound and covers it as Johnny was loitering on the top of the crease. All right, so Johnny will move in for the draw. Puck comes back to Jack, who whistles it high and wide. Connor holds it at the half-boards. Johnny turns and throws it back to Kyle. Kyle throws down low to Jackson. Jackson trying to body his man off. Kyle comes to help. Puck squirts to the half-boards, and the ref holds it up. Unfortunately, because Jack was waiting on it. Jackson bangs it off the wall, and Johnny picks it up. Johnny holds the man off with one hand, and we're going to get a penalty now. It took a while, but Pittsburgh's going to go for a hold here. So with 14:56 showing on the clock in the second period, and Pittsburgh up 1-0, we'll get our first power play opportunity. Trevin coming out with Sonny, Connor, Jack, and Thomas. Trevin on the draw here, wins it back to Sonny. Sonny curls on the half-boards, has some space. Pittsburgh letting him skate around. Played over to Jack. Jack steps down top of the circle, throws it at the net, looking for a deflection, but it never makes it there. Sonny gains control and wins it back to Jack. It goes back to Sonny. Trevin comes through, gets pinched, but Sonny comes away with it back to Jack. Jack goes down low. Trevin has it behind the net. Gets closed down by 2. Oh, it takes a funny bounce as Connor was expecting it to go one way and went another way. And then Trevin, trying to go back to the point, has it intercepted, and now Pittsburgh comes the other way. Floated through the slot and all the way to the Pittsburgh blue line, and then flipped right back up. Thomas grabs it, tries to go off the boards, picks it up himself, and then lays it on to Connor. Connor into the zone, gets pinched, gets it down to the corner, but no further. Comes back to Thomas at the point. He goes half boards to Trevin. Trevin tries to go to the middle, it's blocked. Comes back up to the near point to Thomas. Thomas back down to Trevin. Trevin below the goal line behind the net. Throws it on to Connor. Connor tries to pull it over to his forehand, top of the circle. And then to Max. Max's shot blocked, comes right back to him. He rims it down to Sonny. Sonny has it with time. Give him space. Curls to the middle. That shot's blocked. Bouncing puck. Thomas has to be careful with it. Does a nice job of keeping it in. But then it's immediately played back, and Pittsburgh knocks it all the way down. Thomas will collect behind the net. 20 seconds remaining as Thomas moves up the ice with it. Over to Max. Max loses the handle on it and it's chopped back the other way. And then it's taken away from Thomas. Man cutting in. And Z gets a leg on it. And here comes Johnny the other way, plays it across to Kyle. Kyle rims it in. Johnny trying to get there, blocks it, but can't win it. And now it floats out, right up the middle, but here comes Pittsburgh the other way. Hayes on the puck. That shot, Z blocks, rebounds. A little scrum in front of the net after the puck's frozen. And we'll get a face-off in the zone. 12:46 on the clock. Draw to the half boards and played back to the point. Now to the near side. That shot thrown in. Z picks it up late, goes into the far corner. Hayes umps his man. Puck comes up to the far point and across to the near point. Man walks around Corey. That shot blocked by Jack. Goes into the corner. Hayes rides his man off and moves it onto Luke. Through Luke. Colin picks it up and gets it out of the zone, and he'll give some forechecking pressure, as will Corey. Puck bouncing. Hayes picks it up and moves up the ice with it. Cuts to the middle. Lays it off for Corey. He throws it in the net. Loose puck. Well, he tried to glove and couldn't hold it. Pittsburgh will reorganize behind their own net. Pittsburgh to their own blue line and the red line, and then flip through, and they'll say deflection, so no icing, as Max will pick it up. Max behind his own net. Moves up the near side. Long outlet pass. Gets to Corey. Corey gets it into the zone. Stays with it. Rims it a little too hard for Jackson, who can't quite correct it. Johnny comes flying over. Forces the puck back the other way. Here comes Jackson down low. Man whiffs on the outlet pass and has to go back the other way. Jackson stays with him. And Johnny cuts that off and blocks it into the corner. Johnny now looking for it. Oh, it squeaks just by him, but Kyle was expecting that, and then Kyle has his pocket picked, and here comes Pittsburgh the other way. Going to the middle, Thomas will go behind the net, chips it to the right, but just black jerseys there. Nice poke check there by Trevin. He stays with it defensively. Pittsburgh has the puck below the end line, looking for an outlet, played behind the net. Into the near corner, man curls out in front. Z makes a nice save. Rebound falls to Thomas, who flips it up, and I think this will be an icing. 10:48 shown on the clock. Trevin, Connor, and Sonny coming out with Jack and Hayes now. Face off to Z's right. This won by Pittsburgh back to the near point. Connor pressuring forces a dump down low. Puck is loose. Hayes ties his man up out in front, and Trevin picks up the puck, flips it up and held him at the point. Connor partially blocks that. It goes down low to the far corner. Hayes moving over. Puck goes behind the net. Jack moves in. Puck play to the half boards. Man steps to the middle. Hayes chops at that, gets it out, but down to the corner now. Trevin staying with his man, rides him behind. Puck comes in the near corner. Here comes Jack over. It's reverse, man open in front. Trevin goes down low and takes that away, rims it around to the far corner. Sonny can't get to it. Pittsburgh has it. Trevin cuts that man off. And now Hayes has got him pinned. Trevin comes over, bumps his man. Puck is 2-on-2 battle in the corner, comes out to the half boards. Sonny waiting for it. Hayes chips it on to Connor, who kicks it, but stays right on the line so it doesn't come out. And then puck behind the net, floats out in front. Z holds his post, puck goes behind. Hayes has it in his feet, gets his stick held. Now he's going to pin his man as Luke is over there to help. Puck comes free and chopped up, and Sonny will collect it. Sonny now with a little bit of space. We need a change here on this long change. Sonny cuts to the middle, tries to bring it to his forehand. Puck is in feet. Sonny stays with it, almost stuffs it home. On his backhand, he tried to lay it off from Max and was intercepted, and now he's got to break the other way, chip forward, but Sonny gets in the way of it, and Max comes away. Max had Corey, but got it a little bit behind him. 9 minutes showing on the clock here. Still a 1-0 game. Pittsburgh outlets to the blue line and then the red line. Thomas goes with his man, puck behind the net. Max comes over to help. Pursues all the way up to the point. Here comes Colin. Puck in the corner. Luke stays with his man. Thomas forces a rim around all the way to the near point. Corey bodies his man, but he comes away with the puck. That's to the middle. Cross-ice pass. That shot, blocker save. Rebound cleared away, I think, by Thomas. So come on to the goalie. We're going to try a change. At least Luke is going to change. And here comes the rest of the Pittsburgh players down the ice. One behind. Max rides his man off, allows Thomas to come in. Plays it back to the near side, but Corey can't get to it. Johnny bodies his man. Puck is loose. Johnny stays with it, even though he had a man break all over him. Still got it up and out to Colin. That one looked like it came out of the zone, and it did. And we get a whistle. 8:06 showing on the clock. Got Johnny out now with Kyle and Jackson and Hayes and Jack. Oh, puck goes through the defenseman. Kyle can't quite get there, and then it's whipped down the other way, and this should be icing, and it is. So this faceoff will come back down to the other end. Same set. So 5 out there. Johnny will take this draw. In feet. Ref gets in the way as well. Johnny battling his man, kicked free to the net. And Kyle does a nice job shortening it down, and then it's flipped past Hayes. This should be icing if it has enough juice. I don't know that it does. Oh, it does, but then they waved it off. And then the puck comes free to Pittsburgh. That drifts through the crease. Kyle bangs it off the boards, but the defenseman is waiting for it. That's blocked by Jackson. Puck goes behind the net. Jack battling for it, has Johnny come in and help. 2-on-2 scrum there. Kyle waiting on the half boards. Puck is still in feet. Johnny essentially batting 2. It comes up the half boards, and Kyle gets it out of the zone, but can't maintain control. Pittsburgh has to wait to clear the zone. Finally does. They play back to their own blue line. And then that's flipped into the Pittsburgh bench. And then we'll get a whistle. So we've got Trevin, Sonny, Connor out with Max and Hayes. Another broken stick removed. 6:57 showing on the clock. Face off outside the Pittsburgh zone. This one won cleanly back by Pittsburgh. They play to the near side, and the man moves up the ice. Headmans goes wide. Hayes forces that puck behind the net. It floats back, and Z does a nice job holding his corner. He's trying to hold it, and he finally does get it covered. The play is a little disorganized there. So we'll get a face-off in the zone. Face-off will come to Z's right. Same set of 5 out there. This one to the defensive corner. Max turns up ice with it. It's pinched off, but then flips it out to the red line. Closed down nicely by Connor and Sonny, and then on to Connor. Connor, under pressure, reverses, gets it to Trevin, but he can't hold the puck. And we come the other way. Connor with the back check. Max comes over and crushes his man at the blue line. Puck goes in deep. Hayes plays it quickly to Trevin. Trevin with some open ice. Oh, and Max, I think, broke his skate blade, so he's kind of hopping. On to Connor. Connor's shot blocked into the netting. Looks like Max has got a skate problem, not an injury, so we're going to have to work on getting a functional skate blade there. In the meantime, Colin comes out with Luke and Corey. Now, Thomas and Hayes face off to the goalie's left. 6:08 show on the clock. Pittsburgh up 1-0 cleanly back to Thomas. Thomas looking for a shooting lane, has to throw it down to the far corner. Hayes moves down low, rims it hard around on the backhand, chipped up, and Pittsburgh holds They come to the blue line. Corey stops that advance. Luke moves it on, hits Corey with it, bats at it. Nobody can find the puck. Still in feet, and now Pittsburgh comes the other way. The puck goes behind the net. Hayes battling. Luke comes in to help. And now Corey does a nice job bumping his man off and knocking it to the corner. He moves it on up to the point, but thrown right back down. And then Luke following up, fires it at the blue line, but again held. And now Hayes picks it up behind the net, and he'll stop. Under pressure, plays it on to Thomas. Thomas with some space now. Headmans it. Colin gets a piece of it, but can't hold it on our side of the red line, but they didn't call icing. Luke comes in to help. Luke has it, throws it up to Kyle, who gets off a nice shot. Good glove save by the goalie. So now we've got Johnny, Dixon, and Kyle out with Thomas and Jack. Looks like Max is still working on getting a functional blade and a skate there. Johnny will take the draw to the goalie's right. He wins this one, not strongly back, and Pittsburgh jumps on it. That clearing pass hits Jack in the head, but then falls to Jackson. Jackson, strong on his skates, backhands it behind the net. Johnny picks the goalie's pocket, throws it out to Jackson. Oh, the puck was hopping on him. He had an open net, but couldn't get the puck to lay down. And here we come the other way. And then the Pittsburgh player literally steps on Jack's stick, and they're going to call a trip. So with 4:43 showing on the clock, we'll play man down for the third time this game. Let's see, Luke, Connor, Thomas, and Hayes. Face-off will come to Z's left. Luke on the draw, in feet, and Pittsburgh wins it back. Far point, turns to the middle, now to the near point. Connor pressuring, played back to the middle. Luke, Hayes comes over. Fans on that pass, comes up, now played down low. Nice job by Thomas to get his stick down and intercept that. Rims it hard around, but held in at the blue line. Cross-ice pass. Good side-to-side movement. And then a deflection off of Thomas that ends up floating. Z had it tracked until it deflected, and then it just kind of fluttered over his shoulder. And that's just bad luck. And that makes it 2-0 with 4:17 showing on the clock. So we've got Trevin, Sonny, Jackson out. Jackson flips that one, but out of Thomas's reach. He has to go all the way back into his own corner. Rolls around the net, and then flips it to Trevin. Trevin quickly it on to Sonny. Sonny backhands. Hayes gets a stick on it and manages to get it in. It goes to Kyle, who can't quite get a stick on it. And the goalie quickly covers. Same set of 5 out there. Trev on the draw. Played to the half-boards and then flipped between the defensemen. Hayes moves back for it, plays it across to Thomas. Thomas quickly to Jackson. Jackson gets a piece of it, so no icing as the puck goes in deep. Sonny pokes the puck away. Pittsburgh right there to claim it. And now he come out. Oh, it's deflected and it'll fall to Jackson. Oh, Sonny took it away from him. Took a shot, misses short side high, and then that big rebound comes past Hayes and into the corner. Thomas whacks at it. It actually floats up, and Z grabs it and holds it. We get a line change. Max appears to have 2 functional skates now as he comes back out onto the ice with Jack. We've got Colin, Corey, and Luke. Face-off will come to Z's left with 3:30 showing on the clock. And the face-off floating around and headman's to Luke. Luke chips in and gives chase. Up behind the net, reverse. Colin was waiting for it. Colin now trying to protect the puck, waiting for some help. Two-man game here. Colin and Luke. Colin takes a cross-check from behind. No call, and Pittsburgh comes away with it. Puck chipped up. And now played the other way. And Jack is waiting for that. Corey battling for it. Gets it into the zone and gives chase. Here comes Pittsburgh the other way. Jackson with a poke check. It's flipped on down deep. Max comes away with it, and here comes Kyle. Kyle loses the handle on it, and Pittsburgh plays it behind their own nets. Kyle stays with his man, loses his stick behind. Johnny comes in and pokes at it, looking for it. Can't win it. Wind around the other way. Pittsburgh with plenty of time and tries to throw it up. It gets to the blue line and then chipped on. Bouncing puck comes to Hayes' feet. Hayes at his own blue line, trying to get the puck to settle down, gains the red line, then backhands it in on net. Jackson gives chase. And now he'll go off. Trevin will cycle down low with 1:45 on the clock. Afterwards, Sonny chipped past him. Hayes grabs it, but nobody's. So guys got out of the zone, so Thomas goes back into his own zone. Sonny collects it. Cross-ice pass. Smartly to Connor. Connor has Trevin with him. Connor goes wide. Connor looking for some help. Has two men on him. Cannot maintain possession. Rimmed around. Thomas should be able to hold this at the point. Half-boards to Trevin. Trevin reverses. Avoids a hit. Looking for some help. Connor has it below the end line. He peels out. Moves it on to Trevin. Trevin comes out the near side. Cross to Thomas. Bouncing puck, he shoots, it's deflected in the corner. Sonny picks it up, and Connor skates onto it. Has his stick kind of grabbed. When Thomas steps forward, Connor moves it on to Trevin. Trevin goes back door to Connor. Connor shot, rebound just wide of the net. Sonny can't get it to go. Puck bounces up behind the net. Trevin pressuring, 40 seconds. Onto the near half-boards. Hayes drops down low. Bouncing puck, needing some help. And it squirts out of the zone as Thomas picks it up. Cross-ice pass to Sonny. Sonny looks to go into Connor, but it comes back to Sonny. Sonny gets it on to Hayes. He goes through his legs to Thomas, who flips it on. The goalie says, I'll hold that with 23 seconds remaining. And then we'll change it up for the final 23 seconds of the period. Colin coming out with Corey and Luke and Max and Jack face off to the goalie's left. This trial won defensively, played up the boards. Jack had it pinned, but it squirted over his shoulder, and then it's thrown in offsides. 16 seconds remaining, and we're going to face off in center ice. Same set of five out there. Pittsburgh wins this draw back to their blue line. Puck flipped up, bouncing in, and toward the corner by Z, and then behind the net, and there goes the horn back in the second period, and I assume we'll get an ice cut here and be back in a bit.
just like if I'm not filming, it's like I'm doing vlog. I'm doing this. People are watching these videos, said.
Am I still connected? Did you get to see the stitches? Did you see his stitches?
I saw pictures, yeah. Yeah, like a dog bit or something.
Yeah, underway third period, trailing 2-0, 17 minutes. Got Max out, battling, pinches his man off, and wins the puck. Throws to the corner. Rims it past Hayes, on to Connor. Connor quickly on to Trevin. Trevin steps inside one man, has Sonny on his left. Cuts in front of him, leaves it to him. Sonny shot, glove save. And Sonny gets knocked down after the shot. Quick change, Johnny will come out with Jackson. Kyle. Thomas and Jack. This will come to the goalie's right. This draw won by Pittsburgh, and they come back the way they came. Jackson manning the blue line, can't hold it in. Here comes Pittsburgh the other way. Chipped in, far corner. Thomas chips it up and into the netting. And we'll get a face-off in the zone. Take it back, face-off outside the zone. Johnny moving in for it. Let's draw to the blue line. Kyle can't collect it. Little miscommunication there. Puck chips over to the near side. Jack comes over, chips it forward. Jackson chopping at it, can't get it out. Jack and Jackson both battling. Pittsburgh comes away with it. That quick shot, and Z makes a nice block and then a glove save. And we'll get a face-off to Owen's left. Change up the lines here. Luke out with Colin and Corey. This one out to the blue line and out of the zone. Colin bodies his man and it ends up getting chipped in behind the net. Max and Hayes both behind. 2-on-2 scrum. Turnout in front. Misses everybody and comes all the way down. So Pittsburgh will go back for it. Goalie clears it. Whoop, little miscommunication there. Oh, and I think Corey almost bounced it in off the goalie. Here comes Pittsburgh the other way. Hayes moves over to the puck. That shot blocked by Hayes. Played behind. Max steps down. Max on his man. Played back to the near point. Corey steps forward to the near side. Thrown at the net. Owen knocks it behind. Hayes bumps his man. Stays with it. And poked on by Luke. He can't win it. And Pittsburgh maintains control. Cycling. Colin his man loses an edge, but has enough time to get up and pass it across ice, and then it squirts past Corey, stays on the half boards. Luke finishes his check. Hayes steps forward. Puck goes down low. Max can't lay it off. It comes out front. Hayes clears it to the point, but not out. Thrown cross ice to the half boards. Collins steps over. That shot hits a body in front. Comes off. Corey gets held up, and then Colin has to leave as he got hit by the puck where we had a 2-on-1 going. Luke now gets rubbed out in the corner. Jackson comes in, finishes a check, but Pittsburgh moves up the ice. Intercepted momentarily by Kyle. Jackson can't maintain possession, knocks it deeper, and then Pittsburgh plays back to their own blue line. Kyle moves over. Man scoots around him. Thomas, nice poke check. Puck comes behind the net. Johnny gets upended, no call. Puck on the half boards. Jack gets it, chips it forward, but it's blocked. Chipped back the other way, and Jack will collect and come out the near side. Jack moving up to the blue line. Gains the red line. Side swipes a hip check. Johnny waiting for the puck. Has a down corner. Tries to cut to the middle. Maintains possession. Tries to lay it off to Jackson, but can't. Stays with it. Now lays it down low to Jackson. Jackson throws it through that slot. Jack has it. Throws it at the net. Never makes it there. Puck now to the blue line, and here comes Pittsburgh the other way. 2-on-2. Man gains the zone. That shot. Owen blocks it, but can't corral the rebound. Jack waiting for it, and then it hits a couple of bodies, goes into the Jackets bench, and we'll get a face-off, I think, in the zone. Trevin, Sonny, and Connor out with Hayes and Max. So this will be in the zone to Owen's right. 13:32 showing on the clock. 2-0 Pens. Now we've had a conversation, and we're going to move it outside the zone. That puck deflected by Sonny, but he can't win it. Flipped in past Max. Hayes wins it on through. Puck hits a stanchion and comes back the other way. Trevin gets rubbed out. And Trevin slow to get up here. He looks like he might be hurt. Max moves it on to Connor. Connor cuts inside one man, gets knocked down. Puck falls to Max. Max moves up the ice, and Sonny's slow to get up too. Puck goes behind the net. Connor finishes his check. Luke comes over, cuts that off. I guess came out of the zone as it fell to Connor. So now we've got Luke, Colin, Corey, Hayes, and Jack. Let's draw one back between the two defensemen. Hayes grabs. He'll carry behind his net and comes out the far side. Headman's to Corey. Corey to the blue line. On to Colin's stick. Colin gets it to the blue line and in, but can't maintain possession. Luke trying to help. Can't get there, and Pittsburgh comes the other way. Flipped forward. Hayes with a poke at the blue line. Falls to a Pittsburgh player. That shot fanned on as Jack was loitering. Jack stays with his man. Comes to the high slot. That one hits, I think, Hayes. And he moves it on to Jack. Jack heads it on to Luke. Luke across to Colin. Colin has Luke going for the front of the net. Didn't see him and shot it high and wide. And that one flipped up. Will fall to Thomas, who plays it quickly to Luke. Luke has to kind of avoid a body and plays it cross ice to Jack. Jack's pass bounced and intercepted. Kicked to the line, but not out. And now Jack will come over, try and body his man, rubs him out. Thomas comes over to help. Puck goes behind the net. Thomas on it. Comes to Thomas. He moves up the ice. Cuts to the middle. Has the puck taken away right at the blue line, and they're going to say he got himself off sides on the poke check. 11:37, Sean. Got Johnny, Jackson, and Kyle out with Jack and Max. Puck into the zone under bodies, no real control. Johnny kicks it to himself and then plays it off to Max. Max takes it off the board, screwed at the net, and almost deflected by Johnny. Puck is loose on the near half board. Johnny digging at it. Pittsburgh comes to the blue line and then dumps it deeper. Jackson pursues, cuts his man off, allows Thomas to skate onto it. Hard rim around, held at the point, thrown at the net. Z kicks it to the far corner. Thomas on that. Puck goes behind. Max didn't know it was coming, but then covered up. Johnny does a nice job closing his man down. Johnny pins his man. Puck is still loose. Johnny still battling for it, and it falls to Thomas. Thomas pulls it into the corner, and now heads up ice. Long pass to Kyle, who deflects it in deep and allows a line change. Connor coming out with Sonny and Trevin both seem to be okay after those last bangs. Puck poked at the blue line by Sonny. Now he's battling forward at the red line. Comes forward. Hayes crushes his man. Puck floats to the blue line. Oh, Trev couldn't quite get it offside. Pittsburgh brought it in. And they're going to call offsides, even though Pittsburgh brought it into the zone. So this faceoff will come outside the zone. Jack dumps it to the blue line, and Sonny pinches the boards and gets it on deeper. No control. It's reversed back up the same way it came. Jack throws it to the half boards. Trevin curled to the middle, tried to get it over to Thomas, but it was blocked. And Sonny holds it momentarily at the blue line, but can't keep it there. Thomas in a foot race now holds his man off, and Sonny give and go with Jack, gets it out of the zone, but Pittsburgh gains control again. Oh, man, flips past Thomas, who was stepping forward. Jack comes over to help. That shot, Z closes down the angle, holds on, no rebound. Max will come out. So Max and Thomas now with Corey, Luke, and Colin. Face off to Z's right, 9:46 showing on the clock. This draw win by Pittsburgh. Thrown down deep on the half-boards. Puck is loose. Luke clears it to Corey. Corey bangs it off the boards, and then in a foot race, bothering his defenseman, rides him off the puck, but can't gain control, and now we come back the other way. Thomas faces the puck. Man cuts inside of him, comes to the middle. That shot whistles wide of the net. Collins manages to move it on to Max, who flips it up to the red line. Pittsburgh gains control at their own blue line, and they'll wind back up. Corey bumps his man as it's dumped deep. Z holds it behind the net, rims it around the glass, hops over Collins' stick, thrown at Z, who knocks it into the corner. Max bangs it off the boards, hits the stanchion. I think this will miss the net, so it should be an icing, and it is. 8:57 showing. Jackson Johnny. Kyle out with Hayes and Jack. Faceoff will come to Z's left. This draw, bouncing. Hayes comes away with it, moves it to Johnny. Johnny moves it up. Hayes chips and chases. Has Kyle in front. Hayes on his backhand. Oh, tries to slip it short side. It missed high and wide and comes all the way the other way. Pittsburgh moving up. Floats to Jackson. Jackson flips it on. Johnny skates onto it, but Kyle knocked it down with his hand, so they're going to call it a hand pass. Unintentional, but hand pass nonetheless. Johnny on this draw in feet and dumped just into the zone, but then flipped right out. Jackson picks it up quickly to Kyle. Kyle's shot blocked. Kyle comes back to it. Can't win it. Flipped over. Oh, Jack anticipated that, but couldn't keep it in the zone. Pittsburgh comes the other way. They fan on the dump pass, and then it gets thrown in past Kyle behind the net. Pittsburgh will change as Hayes winds up. Moves it on to Trevin. On to Jackson. Jackson gains the zone. Trevin behind the net, staying with the puck. Kind of gets rubbed off of it. Stick there, kind of obstructing things. Comes to Connor. Connor tries to bull his way to the net. Does get it in on the goalie. Forces a save. So face-offs the goalie's left. Sonny on this one. Can't win it. Pittsburgh gains control and comes out the near corner. Hard off the glass. Falls to Max. Max flips it right back the other way. Sonny grabs backhands. Connor can't get it in. And now we come the other way. Max trying to hold his man into the corner. Does a nice job staying with him physically and then chips it up, but it's held in on the half boards. Sonny battling now. Thrown down low. Hayes comes over. Played out to the point. On the near side. Thrown back down low. Max steps in front of his man, picks up the puck, flips it up the boards. Bouncing puck, stopped at the red line, thrown back. Oh, hit. It looks like Max had his man lined up, but couldn't quite get it to go. Pittsburgh regains control in their own end. Sonny with some pressure. Flipped past him into Hayes' feet. He plays across to Thomas. Thomas back to Hayes. Hayes off the boards and onto Kyle. Excuse me, Luke. Luke takes a heavy hit, gets the puck deep, and then gives chase. 6:40 remaining. Pittsburgh plays through the middle of the ice into the zone. Thomas goes wide with his man, tries to throw it out in front. Jack did a nice job tying up the winger and then throwing puck into Thomas. Thomas chips it up and out, and Luke will give some pressure. And Corey comes over on his man, cross-ice pass. Oh, Colin almost intercepted that, but can't. Pittsburgh comes the other way. Flipped forward, cleared to the corner by Thomas. And now Jack ties his man up, waiting for some help. Luke comes in, a 2-on-2 battle. Pittsburgh comes away with it behind the net. Trying to control it, throws it out in front. It falls to Colin. Colin wheels and moves up the ice, flips it up and out. And we'll go for a change here. Long pass. I think deflected. No, not deflected. So icing. With 5:51 showing. Still 2-0. Johnny, Kyle, Jackson. Hayes and Jack. Puck won by Pittsburgh behind the net. Rimmed around. Thomas comes over, throws it at the net, gloved and held. And Kyle gets ridden wide, didn't like it. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Nothing too aggressive. So faceoff will come to the goalie's left. Johnny moving in for the draw. He wins this one back. Kyle on his backhand couldn't do much with it. Johnny immediately jumps on it, knocks it into the corner, and Jackson will pursue behind the net and into the near corner. Jackson forces his man to reverse. Johnny coming behind the net, now chasing from behind. Jackson gets knocked down from behind, but then trips his man, so the ref lets him go. Thomas can't quite get that. Hayes jumps forward, and puck is loose, comes across to Jackson. Jackson throws across to Hayes. Hayes with a little bit of time and space has Johnny on his right. Hayes throws it across to Johnny into the corner. Jackson kicks it down low. And Pittsburgh will come back out the other way. Man splits Jackson. Thomas Adams stays with his man. Throws it behind the net. Does a nice job coming away with it and throws it on up to Sonny. Sonny overskates and then dumped in off sides. And Sonnedecker gets wiped out behind the play. And all three coaches start screening. And now it appears that, no, maybe not. I thought maybe we'd gotten a bench penalty, but and now I'm not sure what's happening. I'm still not sure what's happening. Now it looks like Trevin is going to go into the box. Maybe said something. I'm not sure. So it looks like we're going to play man down here. Jackson moves in for the draw to Z's left. Puck is in feet, floated over into the far corner. Puck is rimmed hard around. Defenseman has to come over for it. Holds it in at the point. Pressure by Jackson. Thrown down low. Hayes shields the puck. Rims it up off the boards. Connor Miller pressures. Bumps his man down and wins the puck, but has trouble finding it. Hayes comes in and dumps it out and throws it all the way down the ice. And this will go for an icing. So the puck will come back up to the other end and will end up facing off in the offensive zone. Still a lot of conversation going on over at the Jackets bench. Not sure what's happening here. So we're going to face off to Z's right. Still, Connor, Jackson, Hayes, and Max. Hayes in the corner. Thrown out in front. Max scoops it in, and it goes behind the net. Max on the puck in the near corner. Hayes gets a stick on that, and it goes up to the near point. Played to the sidewall. Here comes Max, floated in, and Flames cross crease. Max comes over to put pressure on the half-boards, pins his man, but he scrims away. Max staying with the puck. Connor over there as well. Played down low. Hayes checks it into the corner. Gets knocked down, but gets right back up and picks up the puck. Now it's underneath him, and he's going to be content to sit there and get a whistle. 52 seconds remaining on the kill. .343 showing on the clock. Still 2-0 Pittsburgh. Luke on the draw wins it cleanly. Thomas comes behind his net, backhands it, hits Johnny with it, and it comes out. Pittsburgh will organize in their own zone. That puck not controlled cleanly and dumped in by Jack. Puck goes all the way down into the corner. 35 seconds remaining on the kill. Pittsburgh will organize. Luke comes over, pressures the puck. Now Johnny coming over. Bouncing puck. Gains the zone. Johnny with a nice poke check right at the dump phase, and it goes down behind. Thomas bothers his man, comes around, and Luke is going to pressure. Luke battling with two men. Thomas coming over to help. Gets it back the other way, and now we're going to get a penalty on Pittsburgh for interference as somebody knocked Thomas down after he lodged the puck free. So with 3 minutes and 1 second showing on the clock, 10 seconds on the penalty kill. We'll skate 4-on-4 for 10 seconds and then a minute 50 power play. And the faceoff will come down in the Pittsburgh zone here. We've got Sonny out with Connor Miller, Max, and Hayes. Trevin's going to come out of the box and into the offensive zone, it looks like. Faceoff the goalie's left. Sonny can't win this one. Pittsburgh rims it hard around. And this should be an icing. And it is. And there's still 2 seconds left on the penalty, so still 4-on-4. So this face-off won by Max. Who's behind the net. We now have a 1:45 power play. Trev has it on the half boards. He goes down low to Connor. Connor reverses. Goalie is off. And we're looking for an empty net opportunity here. 6 on for Trev. Plays to Connor, but gets it into his skates and unfortunately steps on it. Jackson throws it back down low. Still no clean control in the corner, and Dixon comes away with it. Behind Sani, on to Max. Max up to Hayes. Hayes across. Trev stepped forward. His shot hits the outside of the net. And it's rimmed hard around. This will be an icing. 2:02 showing on the clock. 1:01 showing on the power play. And it looks like we're going to call timeout here to try and get something diagrammed up. All right, so we've got Johnny, Sonny, Dixo, Kyle, Thomas, and Hayes out. Net is empty. Face off to the goalies left. 6 on 4 for a minute run. Here comes the face off. One back to Thomas. Thomas moves to the middle. Off to Hayes. Hayes top of the circle. Back to Thomas. Over to Sonny. Sonny top of the dot. Thomas's shot deflects. Rebound. Goalie covers. Kyle gets bumped around. Down to a minute 50 in the game. 50 on the penalty. We'll do it again from the goalie's left. This one cleanly back to Thomas, who pulls to the middle. Gets it in his feet, can't control it, but then recovers. Has 2 men on him, plays it down low to Jackson. Jackson up to Sonny. Sonny over to Thomas. Thomas walking down. His shot, rebound, comes out, but nobody can grab it. And then flipped up, and that'll be a high stick. And so the faceoff will come in the zone, and Zeal have to come back into the net. 1:25 on the clock, 25 on the power play. So Johnny will move in for the draw here. This cleanly run by Pittsburgh. They dump behind. Go to the round behind, and Hayes will collect it. Hayes moves up ice. Headmans it to Jackson. Jackson back to Hayes. Hayes moves across. Gets it in deep and pursues himself. Here comes Z off the ice. Puck takes an unfortunate bounce and is flipped over and then rolls out, and this will be an icing. And 56.6 showing on the clock. And looks like we'll get a little bit of a change here. Trevin coming out with Connor and Jackson. And Kyle as the goal as the net is empty, and Hayes and Thomas. Trev will take the draw. This time the Pittsburgh goal is right. It's 1-1 into the defensive corner. Run hard around and held, and here comes Pittsburgh. Hayes dives and blocks that as it goes wide. Hayes blocks another one. Puck is loose, and Trevin comes up with it. Trevin to the near side. Man angling him. He cuts to the middle. Cross ice. Still has the puck into the zone. Goes wide. Still has the puck. Throws it out to Kyle, but it misses, and Jackson picks it up. 27 seconds remaining. Jackson throws it towards the middle. It's blocked back into the corner. Into the near corner boards. Hayes reverses it. Hayes now trying to pin it behind the net. Connor, he got 4 white jerseys digging for it. Trevin comes away with it, throws it out in front. Connor can't get it to go. Hayes has it. Goes behind to Dixo. He goes back to Hayes. Hayes throws it to the net. Puts a couple of feet. Jackson digging at it. Can't get it go. Trevin picks up the rebound. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that'll take care of it. And we got a couple of big collisions right there at the horn. And the ref's looking to separate folks, but that'll take care of the game. And we got a second one tomorrow at 12:50.